We've talked about MCAs over and over and over and over again. And we're about to talk about this bunch of entertainers some more. MCAs have decided that Kenya will not have boring days anymore. It was turning out to be a very boring week. Nothing much really happening, the sun coming up and going down. Well, until Thursday.
I don't know what's happening.
ODM Executive Director Magarel Langat had no idea what hit him. Well, Mr. Langat, if it felt like you just got run over by a bus, maybe you are. Nairobi MCAs were at it again, and they took their fighting skills to their own house to remove what they were calling a traitor.
I don't know what's happening.
Kama MCAs ya Nairobi, tunataka chukua jukumu kusafisha hii chama mpaka iwe safi.
And in the wisdom of these MCAs, what better way to do it than to use force, something that we're getting so accustomed to from our glorified councilors.
Magarel Langat has been a liability to this party.
First of all, Mr. Otieno, it's liability. Say it with me now.
Liability.
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 Secondly, which school of democracy did you attend? Is it the same school they taught you how to pronounce the word liability?
Liability.
You cannot kick somebody out of a political party because they hold different views from yours. That's just dumb.
We don't want to see him again here.
So they declared this poor soul useless in their party. But not before doing something really strange. They deflated all the tires on his vehicle, which is strange because if you want to get rid of someone, do you really want to keep looking at his car just outside your house? Well, not even Baba could believe what he was seeing. I wonder what he was thinking at that time. If you think it's only MCAs who are trying to take Kenya back to the days of Homo sapiens and Homo stupidians, boy, are you wrong. Gor Mahia fans continued with their reign of terror, failing to reconcile their minds with the fact that they had lost to a cat, Sofapaka. But just like the Football Kenya Federation has been doing over the years that these hooligans have been terrorizing football fans, we'll look the other way. Or better still, bury our heads in the sand and assume nothing happened, because we're very good at it. But while you do that, Mr. Nyamwe and company, guess where your rear end is? Yeah, it can be kicked. Don't you forget that. Now, there's this fellow. He's called 2 Chains. And for those of you who do not know him, like Yvonne or Namu or my boss Joe or my mom or my dad or anybody else who's above the age of 16, for all those, it's okay, relax. It's not significant to you. But here's the thing. There are people who paid as much as 5,000 shillings to go watch him perform. But that's not why I brought this up. It would seem that the excitement of having an American rapper come to town was so much for one columnist by the name of Shafi the Reverend that he imagined having hosted him on his breakfast show on radio and then went to brag about it on his column. Small problem. The rapper never left his home country. Now, as Shafi Wero continued meeting imaginary people, there was some good news from the civil service. Yes, there was good news from the civil service. I know how strange that sounds. It turns out that if you're married and you're in the civil service, then you're bound to be happier than people working in the private sector. According to a survey conducted recently, people who work in the civil service have far much happier marriages. In fact, the civil service fellows were so excited about it, they released this advert.
Does your spouse irritate you? Do you love them but still hate them? Are you looking for ways to save your failing marriage? Then both of you need to apply for a job in the civil service. Research shows that the civil service will improve your happiness and marital bliss with flexible working hours, very long lunch breaks, and ghost workers to cover for you when you take a romantic walk at Uhuru Park. The civil service guarantees that divorce will be a word you will never use. If you want to find your happily ever after, join the civil service today. Civil service. Come walk with us. But first, get married.
I'm going to join the civil service now. Wilson Buru for KTN's Mock the Week.